All right, we are here at the, well, here, this is where we are. That's the Udvar-Hazy. We're gonna go look at some aerospace and aviation history stuff, so hope you guys enjoy. Behind me is the Enola Gay. It's the first plane to ever use an atomic weapon in war on Hiroshima, and this is it. This is the real deal right there behind me. That's the plane. It's a B-29. There were 3 used on the missions. This was the first bomb to drop. It was also using boxcar as an advanced weathercraft on the first mission, if I remember correctly, and then the Great Artiste was the film camera that they used, and then the second one dropped on Nagasaki. Boxcar dropped that bomb, and Grand Artiste also filmed and documented that. Now, Grand Artiste doesn't exist anymore. That airframe was scrapped a while back, but Boxcar is on display in Ohio, so if you're in Ohio, you can see the sister plane to this important piece of history. Now we're inside in the space flight exploration, and that's Discovery behind me. We're gonna go take a close-up look at that. Okay, so behind me are the engines that powered the Discovery. Now these are actually a lot smaller than the F2 engines used on the Saturn V rocket. They generate enough power to get it, you know, in a stable orbit and take it out of orbit. But yeah, those are huge engines, as demonstrated by the photo I'll throw in there. But to think about that, those are smaller than the F2 engines that were used on the Saturn V rocket, it boggles the mind. We're still here at the Udvar-Hazy, and these behind me, I'll show you close-ups. These are all toys from the 50s, 60s, 70s, but all space themed. There's some Buck Rogers guns and some cool tin toys and stuff in here, so it's pretty legit. So we are here at the Udvar-Hazy still, and the plane behind me is the SR-71 that set the record across the United States for a single flight and speed. It covered the entirety of the United States in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 20 seconds. To put that in perspective, the flight that got us here to DC from LAX, the same flight path, took us 4 hours and 20 minutes. It's not the exact flight path because altitude and everything like that, but still, when you put that into perspective for sound, 3 times the speed of sound, Mach 3.3 on this plane. Averaged over 2,000 miles an hour is the average speed. And to think about the engineering in this plane is designed in such a way that at the ground, the fuel tanks do not seal completely, so as you fill it up, it'll leak out fuel. The way that they, instead of engineering a complex solution around it, they said, you know what, forget it. We're gonna get the plane up in the air and refuel in the air to fill the tanks back up from the fuel we lost getting up to altitude. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think about that. Okay, for those of you who watch my channel and are car people, I've got something kind of special to show you. Now, I'm sure you know the name Ettore Bugatti. So those of you who know the new stuff, not necessarily Bugatti's whole history, but Bugatti, Veyron, Chiron, things like that, powered by a W16 engine. And if you've ever looked at the back of a Bugatti Veyron, you'll notice that the engine cover is exposed and it has a very distinct look. Well, I'm going to show you something that kind of mirrors that because Bugatti designed this aircraft engine in the early 1900s. Alright, I'm by another really cool thing, and those of you who were around in 2012 and you watched this live on YouTube, right behind me, Felix Baumgartner's capsule. Alright, another really cool plane right behind me. Those of you who love Amazon as much as I do, if it wasn't for this plane right here, you wouldn't get your packages in 2 days. FedEx bought 30 of these planes back in the 70s and pioneered overnight delivery. They strengthened the floor, made the cargo doors stronger. If it wasn't for their idea back then, you wouldn't have your 2-day Prime stuff today, so that's pretty legit.